5 things I want to see in The Dragon Prince Season 2. Number 1. Frame rate fixed up. The Dragon Prince started streaming on Netflix in the middle of September last year, and while it received no shortage of critical acclaim in the narrative department, there was one area that was frequently criticised: the frame rate. The show's frame rate dropped to considerably low numbers, and all movement on screen would drop to a crawl. Characters' movements seemed like they were lagging, when in actual fact the show was running just as it was meant to. Many people, myself included, got used to the low frame rate after a while. However, others found it unbearable at times, and even enough to quit watching the show entirely. For The Dragon Prince Season 2, I would like for the frame rate to be patched up and increased to the usual digits. There is a high likelihood of this happening, as there is an article from The Verge interviewing the show's co-creators, Aaron Ehaz and Justin Richmond, on this very subject. Ehaz addresses the matter of the frame rate, saying, and I quote, "We're definitely hearing it, and if we're given the opportunity, we're going to work to improve it, within all possible bounds." End of quote. This confirmation from the creators that the frame rate will be brought up is not the only confirmation we have regarding the improved frame rate. In the recent trailer for Season 2, the frame rate is consistent, and if it dropped at all, I didn't notice it. If this doesn't confirm that the second season will be visually much more fluid than the first, then I do not know what will. Number 2. Ezran's character developed further. Out of the trio of the main protagonists in the show, Rayla, Callum, and Ezran definitely currently has the least amount of character depth. We know that he is a kind-hearted boy who can supposedly speak to animals, but that's about it. He is the prince of one of the kingdoms of Catolis, so there is definitely room for development regarding the coming-of-age archetype. However, I have a feeling that Callum, being his older brother, will get the majority of that would-be development. This leaves Ezran without much room for growth and development. In my opinion, there is one main way to improve Ezran's character in Season 2, and that's through his ability to communicate with animals, or at least sense their emotions. The ability isn't really fully explained, just touched upon, you see. I believe that the way Ezran's character can be developed is for him to communicate with Zim, the baby dragon that the party hatches in the climax of the first season. Perhaps as Zim matures and learns lessons about life and morality, so can Ezran. This would add more development to the boy, and he would grow beyond being Callum's younger brother. Well, figuratively. This idea might need bait, Ezran's Glowtoad, to move aside though and let Zim into the spotlight, so maybe it isn't the best idea after all. I mean, how could you say no to that face? Number 3. King Harrow's fate revealed. The first season of Dragon Prince had many beautiful scenes. Amai saying goodbye to her sister, the season opening, and Rayla talking of Zadia, her home, are just a few from the top of my head. However, the scene that has had the most impact on me is the supposed death of King Harrow, Ezran's father and Callum's stepdad. Viewers do not actually see the moment when the king is killed. However, the fact that the Moonshadow elf Renard leaves the king's quarters battle-torn and hurt while sending a magical arrow into the sky is evidence of the king's death. In the following scenes set in the kingdom, Harrow is seen carried through town and eventually burned. However, viewers never actually see Harrow's body up close after his purported death. In addition, Viren tries to burn the king in as much haste as possible. It is very possible that the king is in fact dead, although I doubt it. In an earlier scene, Viren tells Harrow that he can save his Royal Highness from being assassinated by swapping the king's soul with one of an animal using dark magic. Harrow declines, believing that dark magic is what got the humans into war in the first place. But what if Harrow did get swapped with an animal? It would make sense for Viren not wanting anyone to see the king then, as it might give away the secret. Whatever the outcome, I hope that Season 2 will confirm or disprove this theory, and give fans a concrete answer on the outcome of the king. Number 4. Virens Backstory. The character of Viren is a very interesting one. He starts out kind and loyal, if a little hard-headed, but quickly deteriorates into very much of a traditional villainous role after one argument with the king. In the Dragon Prince's second season, I would like for his transition of loyalties to become more believable, perhaps by revealing a bit of his backstory as Harrow's royal attendant. I very much hope that the reasoning for Virens' evilness is not just fueled by his growing addiction to dark magic, as that would in some ways weaken his room for growth in future seasons. Whatever we see, I have no doubt that Viren will be a thrilling and dangerous antagonist. Number 5. Thorin and Claudia's Decisions. Being the children of Viren, the show's villain, Thorin and Claudia most definitely have a sinister streak to them. However, much like their father in the first few episodes of Season 1, they are a charming and entertaining bunch, with a lot of opportunity for growth. When the first season ends, the siblings are on a quest to find and kill the princes and their acquaintances. However, Dragon Prince has neither built Thorin or Claudia up as evil people. In Season 2, I wish that both Thorin and Claudia develop as characters and decide to pick a side, whether it's joining Callum or their father. I reckon that Claudia will be corrupted by magic and turn evil, while Thorin will see his father's actions for what they are and decide to face off against his father and sister. This will provide for an interesting hero/villain dynamic. Whatever happens, we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching my video on things I want to see in Dragon Prince Season 2. Post what you'd like to see in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyway, without further ado, I'd like to wish you all a great day. I've been One Aussie Viking, and I hope to see you all again next time. Bye-bye!